Hi, my name is Abdullah Attar. I studied engineering at the University of Cambridge, and currently I'm working at the Biotech in London, where I use AI for drug discovery. So I chose Cambridge because the engineering degree there is very general in the sense that you get to study all different types of engineering for the first 2 years, covering mechanical engineering, electronics, civil engineering, etc. So for the first 2 years, I had a very broad exposure to different types of engineering. In my third year, I then moved more towards statistics and machine learning, and I had a minor in bioengineering as well. And then finally, in my final year, which was the integrated master's year, I specialized even more towards machine learning, information theory, and bioengineering. So in my final year, I was working on a machine learning project for medical imaging. I was trying to predict whether the hip joint angle has an effect on the joint space. And I had roughly a sample of 200 different patient hips. This being an image-based project, I was able to apply different statistical methods, and I was using machine learning to model patient-specific hips. So as I progressed through my university degree, I was getting more and more interested in the applications of statistics and machine learning in healthcare. As a result, I applied for a graduate program at GSK. They have an R&D hub based out of Stevenage near London. The application process was fairly competitive. They had to actually pick 1 out of 10 interviewees in the final round. Initially, I actually didn't get selected, but my interviewer liked me so much that they backfilled from the following year, and they made 2 hires that year instead of 1, and then didn't hire anyone the following year. So at GSK, I got to apply machine learning to a wide range of problems, ranging from cheminformatics-based machine learning models for chemistry to representation learning for high throughput imaging and transcriptomics data. So as I've specialized more into deep learning, I'm now working at a biotech startup in London where I get to apply different deep learning architectures like transformers to DNA. So we're essentially building large language models, but instead of them being for natural language, we're using DNA as our language. And it's a very exciting space to be in. So my main advice to people who are looking to apply AI in healthcare is to make sure that your understanding is well-founded and grounded in the first principles. So you really need to understand a lot of statistical methods and machine learning fundamentals in a comprehensive way before you expose yourself to their application in healthcare. This is primarily because now there's a lot of information overload through large language models, and this new trend of vibe coding. But if you don't really understand the intrinsic assumptions that a lot of these models have or make, applying them to biological data, which is also extremely noisy, is a very challenging thing, and you might be violating assumptions which shouldn't be violated. So at my company, we have regular journal clubs where people in the team or wider company, they share a lot of the new research. My company is also actively researching new methods, so that also helps. When we're working on new research, we tend to keep on top of what's out there in the literature. On top of that, I also follow a few different Substacks as well as Twitter feeds for just keeping up to date with the latest papers in deep learning for biology. So I think that LLMs can be an incredibly productive tool, especially within the space of AI for healthcare or drug discovery. I don't think that you can expect artificial intelligence in general or a large language model to be able to shorten or completely make the drug discovery process end-to-end. But currently there's now a trend of using these tools to improve developer productivity. There's a lot of boilerplate code. They've been done over and over again, and these things can be automated really quickly with large language models, and there's a new trend for this being used in this space. My one advice would be to not be scared of AI. There's a lot of scaremongering at the moment about AI taking people's jobs. I personally believe it to be a tool that should be used to increase your productivity, but it should also be used with caution. I also think that there's a lot of good to be brought into the world with a lot of these developments in AI and generally the human pursuit towards AGI. One of the things that's particularly exciting for me are some of these world models that companies are working on, because if we can get models that can accurately predict these types of world models, then they can also start to be applied to more meaningful domains, in my opinion, including healthcare, and that's the next meaningful step for AI in my view.